Hello everyone, my name is True, and before we hop into today's video, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on today's video. Please consider taking a second to hit the like button if you enjoyed the content or hitting the dislike button if you don't. And while you're at it, if you are not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's the best way to support me and it only takes one click. And with all of that being said, enjoy the video. You are now watching the True TCG. Hey, how's it going guys? True here, back with another video. It's been a couple of days since my last upload. I've been getting a little bit busy with schoolwork, but I figured I would record a short little video today on probably one of my favorite decks in the format right now. We're talking about Eternatus VMAX. But before we hop into the deck, please do consider subscribing to the channel. My goal in 2022 seems a little far-fetched right now, but is to get to 1,000 subscribers. And if we could do that, I'll do, I don't know, maybe a huge giveaway, something like that. So yeah, please consider subscribing and dropping a like on today's video to help me reach that goal. And with all that being said, let's start talking about Eternatus. So at the current moment, Eternatus has certainly sort of fallen off of the meta, and that's kind of crazy to say, because the reason it's fallen off is because it's just really not enough, which is really weird coming from a card that can hit 270 damage for 2 energy pretty consistently. And the main reason is probably because of Single Strike, because it does one-hit KO Eternatus VMAX, as well as Rapid Strike, which still has a little presence in the meta. But overall, Eternatus VMAX in my book is still pretty solid. It does one-hit KO Mew, which is huge, and it does have its little niches here and there. And we are pairing it with Galarian Weezing, which is, in my opinion, probably the best, one of the best, if not the best way to play Eternatus. Now, you have a couple of ways you can play Eternatus. You can play it with Galarian Weezing, which is what you're seeing right now, or you can play with the Umbreon VMAX with that super aggressive gusting, which in theory isn't bad either, or you could just play straight Eternatus with just sheerly Moltres and go for like some weird Energy Switch combo deck. But overall, in my book, Galarian Weezing at the current moment is the best way to play it because of Neutralizing Gas. Neutralizing Gas is an absolutely busted ability. It's a path to the peak for every single Pokemon on our opponent's field as long as it's in the active spot. So our opponent can't use Drizziles, Inteleons, or Genesect, and it's absolutely insane what a turn 1 Weezing can do, which is the reason we're playing this. We do play a 4-3 line, a pretty heavy line, to ideally start a Koffing, go for that turn 1 Ascension, and just turn off our opponent's field, which is, and most decks in the format right now do rely on abilities. We don't have to use Weezing in every matchup, but ideally, Neutralizing Gas is most of the time, we hope to get value out of Neutralizing Gas most of the time, which is the reason we play it. And another good thing about Weezing is that Severe Poison does put most things in one KO range of Dread End for 270. So that's a reason why Galarian Weezing is such a good partner for Eternatus. Now we also do play 2 Moltres here in this deck. Moltres acts as a really effective way to get around Zamazenta, just a couple of other annoying cards. It's also a really nice 2-prize attacker in matchups where we don't want to use Weezing. We can go a route where we force our opponent to KO an Eternatus VMAX, KO a Moltres, and then KO another Eternatus VMAX, ideally for an 8-prize game. And we also do play 4 Crobats here, of course, because every single Eternatus deck should play 4 Crobat because it can utilize 4 Crobats in a game. So those are the Pokemon. We do play 1 Energy Switch because we're not entirely reliant on Galarian Moltres, but we still do want that cute 1 of Energy Switch in this deck to pull off that play whenever we need to. We do play 2 Evolution Incense, 4 Great Ball, 4 Quick Ball. 1 Pokegear is very good in this deck because it acts as essentially a way to find a boss's orders or a Marnie. It's just a really nice card to have in this deck, in my opinion. And the rest of the deck is pretty self-explanatory. We play 4 Hiding Dark Energy, just to help us move our Pokemon a lot easier. And we also do play 4 Switch. We're playing a lot of mobility in this deck. We also do play 4 Galar Mine in order to counter Path to the Peak, which is another reason why this deck has kind of been in decline. Decks like Jolteon and even a bit of Gengar, if I'm being honest, have started playing Path to the Peak, 4 Path to the Peak to be exact, which is extremely pesky for this deck to get around. So we do play that maximum count of Galar Mine in order to consistently bump those stadium. I feel like you could consider putting in another cute stadium like Dynatree Hill maybe if you really wanted to, but for the most part I feel like just staying with the consistent 4 Galar Mine is the best way to go. 3 Boss, 3 Marnie, 4 Research. That's really all I have to say for the deck. Let's get into 1 or 2 games. Alright, so hopping into our first game, and maybe only game for this video, because this video is going to be a little bit shorter than usual against Fast and Cool. Good luck to him or her. We do win the coin flip, so I'm going to opt to go second. This way we have, in my opinion, I really like pulling off the turn 1 Ascension and getting that lock in, which is the reason I'm opting to go second. And something to note is that if you do opt to go second, your opponent doesn't get a turn with supporters, which is something important to know. It looks like we're up against some sort of Latios deck, I think. I don't think Mew plays this, so if we are up against Mew, definitely a pretty strange Mew build, but I think we are up against the Latios deck, which is a single price deck, which could be a little bit rough, but overall, I feel like with the ability lock, we should have a pretty good time. Our opponent's gonna opt to burn a power tablet here to see a single card. They're gonna find a Latias, draw 2 more cards. Let's see if they see how many. Let's see what else they've got going. There's a quick ball here that can get them another Genesect. So our opponent has the very ideal turn 1 for them. Getting real set up here. Let's read what these cards can do. So Latios can hit for 210. They can attach an energy to the Latias. Latias can attach an energy to Latios. And our opponent gets the heads on the Cramomatic. So they can get pretty set up here. But hey, like I said, if we can manage to find that turn 1 item lock, we will be in an extremely good spot against this deck specifically. Because if you guys notice, our opponent's entire field has abilities, and we essentially just shut down their entire field. I imagine this deck can even be built something like a Mew VMAX deck, where they don't play any draw supporters, they only play Genesects. Maybe they only play Boss and Elisa Sparkle. I could see that, so definitely interested to see. And this Latias doesn't really do much in this matchup, I think. Opponent's going to see 2 cards here. So yeah, our opponent can, in theory, play an Elisa Sparkle, as well as an Energy KO our Weezing, so we might want to get 2 Weezings on board, because if we get Weezings established, our opponent can't do anything, which is very important to note. So our opponent's got an EXP share going as well. There's another Eternatus. That's not bad. Not what we're looking for there. There's a Koffing. That's a very solid top deck. We can bench this, attach the Hiding Dark to the Koffing here, play the Quick Ball, get rid of the Dark Energy. We can safely do this because we do have a couple of Moltres in deck to which we can utilize Dire Flame Wings to get that back. I think I'm just going to go for a Crobat here, draw 4 cards, looking for a switch. And if we don't get it, we can probably go for a research or something like that. There's the switch. That's fantastic. There's another Galarian, but there's a Galarian Moltres. That's also epic. Let's use Dire Flame Wings here. Bench the Koffing, and I'm actually not going to do anything with this hand. The reason being, I want to keep this Weezing around, and I also don't want to increase our odds of drawing into another Galarian Weezing, which would be really bad here. So let's go for the Ascension. And yeah, like I'm saying, if we researched here, we didn't have a high chance, but there was certainly a chance we could have drawn into the 2 Galarian Weezing, and we've basically hit everything we needed that turn. So I felt like just holding onto the hand for now was the optimal play to make. So our opponent's actually going to go for a Boss on our Moltres, so they've got stuff going for them. Yeah, that's one way our opponents can get around Weezing, is by bossing, which is definitely a little bit annoying, but overall I feel like the end result is still going to be the same, if I'm being quite honest. So our opponent's going to be able to take a KO if they get the energies necessary on our Moltres, which is a little unfortunate. Would have loved to keep this bird around, but like I said, still looking alright. Our opponent's going to be forced to burn a switch here, which is really good for us. The more switch they play, the better, because hey, once we poison them, and also yeah, they're also done an escape rope, which is an out to get out of neutralizing gas. So I'm definitely happy to see our opponents getting rid of those resources they need. Switch is a way for them to remove poison, and our opponent's burning another power tablet. Yeah, so by the looks of things, I don't think our opponent's going to be able to 1-hit KO an Eternatus VMAX, which is pretty good for us. And yeah, I think we're looking pretty solid here. Our opponent's got the Training Court. We do play 4 Galar Mine, so we definitely can bump this, fortunately, and our opponent's got the attack off, but again, they have to get rid of 2 energies here. Yeah, I still feel like we're still kind of in control of this one here. We're definitely looking for a counter stadium here. We could actually go for a Marnie. Wouldn't be a bad thought to decrease our opponent's hand size. I would also really like an energy. Actually, we have an energy to work with because of our opponent's Training Court, which is really good. We can go for Eternatus VMAX here or another Moltres. I feel like maybe going for the Moltres is the better play here. I don't really feel like putting a VMAX in play right now is necessary. at all, if I'm being quite frank. Maybe we can just utilize Weezings this game. So I feel like going for Moltres here feels like a pretty safe play to make. Do I want to disrupt our opponent's hand right now? I really do, but at the same time, I really want to hit an energy. We've already got an energy there, so maybe I just go for the Marnie. Maybe benching this Moltres wasn't great either because this doesn't leave us a spot for Crobat. But overall, I still think we're fine. We do have a Galar Mine, that's huge. So let's go for the Moltres. We can attach the Hiding Dark from the hand to a Eternatus, I think. We could also attach it to the Weezing. That wouldn't be a bad play either. Our opponent can, in theory, want it KO one of our dudes on the bench. Do I want to attach it to the Weezing? I think I'll stick it on the Eternatus for now. Throw down the Galar Mine. That would have been bad if I didn't. And yeah, let's just go for that Severe Poison. So we decreased our opponent's hand size. We got the counter stadium. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have much going for them. But again, they can still boss. They can boss around our Weezing or Escape Rope if they have that. There's the Cram. Hopefully this hits Tails. It does hit Tails. That is huge for us. Yeah, this just might mean that their Latios is chilling in the active. They can retreat if they want to. They can pay all the energies, which would be brutal for them. I don't even know if they want to retreat here. That would still be not ideal for them. So even if they do retreat, they'd probably have to go into like a Genesect or something, and then they would still have to find a way to move that. So I think our opponent's kind of like just sitting here, not doing anything. I have a feeling their hand's dead here. Like I said, this deck definitely could be built like a Mew VMAX deck to where they don't play any draw supporters, and by the looks of it, it is. So our opponent's just going to pass over to us, top deck a Koffing. We could hold on to this Pokegear or play the Pokegear. I feel like just holding it right now seems fine. Actually getting a draw supporter here would be pretty good. Let's actually go ahead and play it. No draw supporter, unfortunately, so we're actually sitting ducks as well. So I'm just going to have to pass here. Yeah, no research is a little unfortunate, but hey, playing that Marnie was certainly worth it because our opponent's got a dead hand. That Cramomatic Tails was huge for us. Our opponent's going to play the Chili and Silent and Cress, get out a couple of goons for them, I guess. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. So we know they've got 3 dead cards in hand, 3 basics, and 1 random card that we don't know about. I'm assuming it's not anything since, yeah, our opponent probably doesn't play any true draw supporters if I had to guess. And yeah, our opponent's Latios is going to get KO'd here, 2 energies in the discard, pretty good. Our opponent could play something like an Energy Switch, which wouldn't be great for us. And now we have a Crobat, that's a really solid card, and there's a VMAX. So, let's think about what plays we could make. We could, I'm a little scared to go into the VMAX if I'm being kind of honest. I was kind of scared it's going to get KO'd, but I feel like we can safely VMAX here nonetheless. You can bench this. Do I really need to go for a Crobat here? I feel like we're just going to go all in now. I mean, got everything benched. I feel like we can't afford to go pretty aggressive. If I'm being quite honest, we don't want a Marnie. Yeah, no energy here definitely sucks a lot. But for the most part, I still feel like we're in a lot of control. I mean, our opponent definitely has a dead hand. So let's just go for the Severe Poison here. Yeah, not anything else we really need to do. So thankfully we did top deck that Eternatus VMAX and get that Crobat off the prize card, so things are looking up for us. Our opponents got the Latios. Actually, wait, no, this is not Impact Energy. Impact Energy gives this deck nightmares, but they can't, abilities can't affect it, right? Oh shoot, oh that's right, this thing can't be affected by abilities. That's actually kind of scary. Because that means they can actually go for the red assist. Yeah, I forgot about that interaction. Okay, so we can go for the Great Ball here. Wow, we are getting a lot of whiffs, but I feel like we can just safely kind of pass. Maybe we can retreat into this Weezing. So like that's actually a pretty safe play. Hold on to the Hiding Dark. Yeah, I feel like making this play is probably the best way to make, because by doing this, if our opponent finds a way to KO our Weezing, and yeah, our opponent gives us the heart here. Let's attach the Dark to the Eternatus, and I think we're just safe passing. And yeah, we're looking pretty solid. We've got 3 prize cards here, which is really solid overall. There's a boss, that's huge. We can look to boss something the following turn. So our opponent's going to promote the Latios. I'm assuming they've got some way to charge it up now. Maybe they could have actually done something cute by attaching the Fusion Energy to a Genesect, and they actually could have drawn cards. That's definitely an interaction that I haven't seen. So we can evolve this bench Eternatus V into Eternatus VMAX, I guess. And let's see, we can switch into this Eternatus VMAX and actually attack and maybe look to boss for game next turn. I actually think I like doing that. So let's switch into this Eternatus VMAX here. And I just feel like attacking here feels fine. Dread End, KO the active. And yeah, our opponent's going to be able to move the XP share, but I feel like our opponent is just so behind now. They definitely don't have a way to KO our Eternatus VMAX. They're down 3 power tablets, so there's no way in the game, in the standard format, I think that they can KO our VMAX this turn. And next turn we have boss in hand. I'm pretty sure they don't play Marnie, and I think this is just going to do it for the game here. So our opponent flips the tails on the Cramomatic, fortunately. And yeah, I feel like this just about wraps it up. So our opponent's going to use the draw. They're going to draw again. Our opponent's got the training court. That's fine with us. They can attack with 70, like that's perfectly fine. Or they can even try to charge up this Latios. They could play Scoop Up Net maybe, but again, at the end of the day, it's not going to do a whole lot for them because we do have the boss in hand. So yeah, I mean, I think this shows the power of Galarian Weezing. This matchup specifically, Galarian Weezing is very, very strong in, but in other matchups as well, like Drizzile, this exact scenario can happen where our opponent doesn't have anything going for them. Now, our opponent could play, maybe whip out a Crushing Hammer, completely disrupt us, I guess, in theory. But yeah, our opponent definitely got completely shut down by the Weezing. They got so behind, they had to let an entire Genesect die as a result of Weezing. And our opponent's going to concede here. They know it's about wrapped up. We would have KO'd the Latios even if we didn't have the boss, and then we would have been able to KO anything on their board. So that's going to do it for the game with Eternatus. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, remember to have a good day, stay safe, and peace out.